Now let's hear from our friends at Low Country Golfing for a Clubhouse conversation with a local legend who's made quite the impact on women's golf.
Thanks, Ashley. There's not a bigger name associated with golfing in the Low Country than Beth Daniel, and I had a chance to catch up with her in our Clubhouse conversation.
I got into golf because my parents played golf and they happened to be members here at the Country Club of Charleston. Started following them around. I have an older brother that plays and older sister that plays, so I always joked around if I didn't play golf, I would have been left at home. The amateur game's really important. I mean, that's where I got my start. That's where everybody starts in amateur golf. And you have to have a little help along the way through amateur organizations and individual people. And I had the opportunity when I was young to learn to play the game, and I got the help and was able to get good enough to play the LPGA Tour for 29 years. And I want to give that help to kids that want it now. Well, Augusta National started with the drive, chip, and putt, which I thought was great for kids to introduce kids to the game. And then they announced last year the women's amateur event, which I think is fantastic. There's a lot of buzz right now because all of these women amateurs are getting their invitations and they're excited to go. And yeah, it's just another way to move the women's game forward, and I applaud them for that. Well, it's funny, you mentioned Nancy Lopez. Our careers did parallel because we played junior golf together, college golf together, and then the LPGA Tour together. And obviously Nancy Lopez was the face of the LPGA when I was on tour. She was kind of the golden girl. You know, it's hard to say a player that didn't get the respect. There were actually a lot of us that didn't get the respect that I felt like we deserved at that time. Women's golf has come a long way as far as being acknowledged by the mainstream people that watch sports. And I felt like in that day that most of us, quite frankly, didn't get the respect that maybe I thought we should have gotten, or not respect is probably the wrong word, just the recognition that we would have liked to have gotten at that time. So I would say almost anyone except Nancy Lopez in that time didn't get the recognition. The one round I could get back. Well, the one that always comes to my mind, and I don't know if I'd want to get it back because I played really well, but in the US Open in 1980 at LaGrange Country Club in Chicago, outside of Chicago, Illinois, Pat Bradley and I went head to head. And I shot, I think, 69 that day, and she shot 68 in the final round of the Open, and she beat me by one. I don't know if I'd ever want that round back because I played so well, but it was one of those rounds where I played well and I finished second. So what can you do? You played well and it didn't happen for you. I'm sure I could look at a lot of rounds of golf in competition and say I wish I had that back, but you have to do what you have to do at that time, and you do your best, and that's all you can do. So when I look at my career as a whole, I'm very, very proud of it, and I had a great time doing it. It's awesome that the Country Club of Charleston is hosting the Women's Open. You know, I my first huge win was a U.S. Women's Amateur. And then I went on to win another one. I played a World Amateur team. I played 2 Curtis Cup teams. And I got to know a lot of people in the USGA and became part of kind of the USGA family. So that's something that's been with me my whole life, and it will continue to be with me. And to have the USGA come in here and host an event at the course that I grew up at, it means so much. It's just, I'm going to be overwhelmed when the week gets here. My dream foursome would, you know, I would probably just pick my family. I think I'd want to play golf with my family. They're the ones that started me in the game, and they're the ones that, you know, I would play golf with periodically when I came home, but they'd be the ones that I'd want to play with. Top 3 courses in the Low Country would probably be the Country Club of Charleston, Yeamans Hall, and then probably Wild Dunes, the ocean course.